Hello, how are you? I'm excited to talk to you. I want to talk to you about the joy of being you. A lot of people, and most people, it's been said that most people never get to know themselves. That's why self-awareness is so very important. We'll be talking about a young lady that I met today on a platform called Clubhouse. Her name is Joy Pittman, and she was telling me about her father, Gerald Pittman, and the impact that he made in her life. And so today I'm going to share with you a technique and a strategy, and I want you to listen closely. Let me turn on my fan here. I have hot flashes. Isn't that interesting? I tell you, I used to laugh at my mother and my sister having hot flashes. Now I have hot flashes. Oh my God. I turn the fan on, I turn it off. I turn the air conditioning on, I turn it off. I mean to tell you, it's unbelievable, these hot flashes. I call them power surges, all right? So I got something for you today, and I'm just excited to share it with you. Oh boy, this thing called life, it's so fascinating. So much stuff is happening. And so you have to really focus your mind on taking the blows and keep it moving. You got to, I mean, stuff's happening. You got to, you know, live a Karate Kid and all that, and keep it moving. so I'm going to share with you. I know some of y'all, just like me, you go through these mood swings, stuff happening. You know, one of the things I like to do, I like to get a good night's sleep. You know, that's what my dream is right now, to get a good night, straight 8 hours of deep REM sleep where I can dream and wake up feeling good. But I feel good when I wake up now. I must admit that, because I'm glad I'm here, that I'm not taking a dirt nap. I want to talk to you about the joy of being you. I talked to a young lady today. Her name is Joy Pittman. And I was on this platform, this new platform, I think they call it Clubhouse or something of that nature. And we were talking, and she asked me some questions, and then I turned the tables and I started asking her some questions. And then I took some things from her that she learned from her father, and I used that to do a presentation to show her how she can sell her business in a more effective way. She's very good at what she does already. And I'm not just downplaying that, but sometimes you can just get another twist on it. You can model and you can modify. I want you to write this down. Model and modify. I want you to model what I'm going to share with you today. And then you can modify it and keep it for yourself. Okay? So I want you to think right now, somebody that impressed you, she impressed me. Somebody that as you listen to their story, it touched you, it touched your heart. I only tell stories that I can learn from, stories that touch my heart, stories that can hold my attention. And what I got from Joy Pittman, the daughter, she's a daddy's girl, Gerald Pittman, when I talked to her, she was describing her father to me, and she's so much like her father. She truly is her father's child. Oh, there's no question about this. But I want you to write this down. The joy of being you. It has been said that most people, when you look at life, they follow the followers. That's why we are told, be ye not conformed to this world. I remember a time that you did not see tattoos on anybody unless they had been in jail for a long time. But tattoos now are everywhere. Why? Because 1 out of 4 people have been incarcerated. And when you're incarcerated, guess what? You cannot draw on the walls. There are penalties for that. Might put you in the hole or something. So people who are incarcerated, they get bored and they put tattoos on each other. And we've had more people in America been incarcerated than any place else on the planet. So when people start seeing all these tattoos, guess what they say? I want a tattoo too, because they're everywhere. Just think about that. So as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, here's one of the things I'm talking about in terms of the joy of being you. Jump out of line. There's a reason we're told, be ye not conformed. Don't be a conformist. All of us are born unique, but most of us die copies. Jump out of line. Most people go into careers that they see other people do, or their parents told them, you ought to do this, or somebody else told them, you ought to do this. Very few people take time to do what's in their heart. I remember my mother said, Leslie, you got a good job at Sears. You got benefits at Sears. Guess what? If I had listened to Mama, who meant well, you quit your job, son? Yes, ma'am. Why would you do that? You had benefits at Sears. Mama, I looked at how much I was making at Sears. They passed me up for promotions repeatedly, and I wanted to do something that I can earn enough money to buy you a home. I couldn't do that working at Sears. So I decided to take a chance on me. What you gonna do? I'm gonna become a motivational speaker. What is that? Is that a preacher? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's just too hard to explain, Mama. No, ma'am. No, it's not a preacher. But I'm going to make money talking to people. About what? My brother, my twin brother, Wesley, we're separated by 5 minutes. Mama, he's lost his mind. Who's going to pay to hear you? Now, you know, how many of you have ever had a dream of something you wanted to do? And you would think that your family members would be the number one people who will say in the cheering section, yes, go for it. You can do it. You can do it. Yes, you got that in you. It told me I was losing my mind. You left Sears? Now Sears gone, but I'm still here. I'm saying to you, there's some joy in being you. Speaking is what I do. I enjoy that. It brings me happiness. It brings me joy. Do something that's you, that brings you joy. Why? When the tough times come, you won't care. Why? Because you're having a good time. When you're doing something that's you, that it brings you joy, you don't care about the hits. You don't care about the failures. You don't become impatient. There's a friend of mine, and her father's name, Mr. Riley. And Mr. Riley, he's one of those people who like to fix cars. He wasn't very good, but he was a tinkler. He loved to fix things. And nobody really paid him to fix their car. They take it over there, and it might be there for weeks or months. But he didn't care. You know why? Because he enjoyed it. My cousin Boo, when we used to travel, if we came to somebody's house and somebody mentioned their garage door was not working, Boo would go out there and tinker with it until he got it working. They didn't pay him to do that. Why? He just loved to fix things. You know anybody who loved to fix things? Now, that's not me. That's just not, I don't know how to fix nothing. I don't know how to fix nothing. I can help you with a speech. I can help you memorize quotes and how to use it. But fixing stuff, that's not my superpower. That's not my passion. But there are people that's what they do. They love to figure things out. When something happens with my computer, something happens that I want to get online, I said, John Leslie, would you please come here, please? That's what I call my son, because he will figure it out. That's his superpower. That's what he does. He can sit at a computer for hours on end. I'm not going to do that unless there's somebody on the other end talking to me. Okay, he doesn't. It doesn't matter to him. He's patient and he's persistent and he will figure it out. And he can teach me, and I don't feel stupid the way that he teaches me. And he makes me do it. He won't do it for me. He do it like this, Dad. Do it like this. He's a great teacher, and he's an incredible father, working with my grandson. Honor. So there's some joy in being you. When you are doing something that's you don't care how long it takes for you to do it. It's something that you enjoy doing so much, you don't get paid to do it, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. And because I enjoy speaking, I did it, I volunteered to do it everywhere. And eventually, because I was willing to invest in myself and to learn and be coached by somebody that had accomplished a level of skill in this area that I admired, and I invested in myself so I can get better at it, eventually I got paid to speak. The joy of speaking, it does a great deal for my heart because it's me. I'm still here doing what I love to do. Sears is out of here, okay? And I provide benefits for myself. So here's what I'm saying to you. Jump out of line. Don't follow everybody else. And this is what Joy Pittman has done. She has decided, she's an entrepreneur, that she's going to teach people how to own their own destiny, how to create their own personal economy. She teaches people how to begin to be empowered about their dreams, about their abilities, and how to become their own boss. So I want you to write this down. Not only jump out of line, but write this down. Optimism and perseverance. She teaches entrepreneurs. She teaches people how to go into business for themselves. This is an entrepreneur's economy. They call it the attention economy. The whole idea of going to college and graduating with thousands of dollars in debt and getting a job and working for 40 years and retiring on 40%, which wasn't enough in the first place, that day is gone. There's no such thing as job security. Did you hear that? There's no such thing as job security, in case you did not get the memo. You have 4 to 5 different career jobs throughout your career. And so you have to depend on you. You have to have a spirit of optimism and perseverance to believe in you. And this is what joy is teaching people, joy of being you. Find something that brings you joy. And through optimism, always looking for ways to win, even when you have setbacks, even when you have failures, that because you're doing what brings you joy, you realize it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. What matters is how many times you get back up. When you're doing something that brings you joy, you can handle the setbacks with a different kind of mindset versus when you're doing something just to pay the bills, just to pay the rent or keep a roof over your head. No. You see, life has no duplicate. You want to do something that brings you joy, that you can make money doing it, but you'll be willing to learn to invest in yourself so that you can take your performance to the next level. And when you jump out of line, make yourself stand out, that people will pay you to do that for them. Am I making sense to you on that? Because I have friends who have a certain skill that's better than mine. And so I'm willing to pay them for their skill because they do it very well. They do it better than me. And so therefore, I'm willing to pay for them to do what I can't do. See, it's about increasing your value. You don't get paid by the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. And when you do something that brings you joy, and when you have a spirit of optimism and perseverance, a willingness to find a way to become successful, to find a way to provide outstanding service for people, to find a way to make a greater impact with your life, with your skills, with your knowledge, with how you have overcome some stuff that becomes a guide, a survival guide for somebody that's going through the stuff you went through. Now, you can do that from the comfort of your home. Now, you can make money from your home, doing something that brings you joy, making money with something that you've learned, some knowledge that you have gained. And as a result of that knowledge, that now you can provide a service with that and make some money. The greatest among you will be your servant. And here's the other thing. It took me a minute to make the decision, to make the leap. When you're doing something that's not you, you have to ask yourself the question, what kind of person am I becoming because of this? Because it diminishes your sense of self. You lose your confidence. You no longer believe in you when you're living a life that's not you and you're failing again and again and again. You just say, wait a minute, I'm not as good as I thought I was doing. No, it's not about you're not as good as you thought you were. It's that you're doing something that's not you. That's why you're not as good at it. But when you're doing something that's you, hey, look at me, trust me on this, you'll find a way to get better. You do research and development. Research and develop yourself to stand out in the marketplace because it's you and you enjoy it and you hang around people who are like that. So it's about jumping out of line. All of us are born unique, but most people die copies. When you jump out of line, you rob the cemetery of your gift. You rob the cemetery of your optimism and persistence and perseverance. You rob the cemetery of your leadership, of your invention, of your ideas. Yes. The joy of being you. It's profitable. It makes you stand out. The joy of being you. You're willing to say yes. See, most people, the reason that they don't experience the joy of being themselves, they're not open to the possibilities. They don't have a spirit of optimism that maybe I can make it. But the people who make the decision to say yes, oh, come on, Shekinah Glory, don't make me sing. Y'all need to bring me in there. I think I can do a little tenor, a little bass up in here. It will encourage you to say yes. Oh, come on now. The joy of being you, you leap and grow your wings on the way down. The joy of being you, you understand the words of this God who said, if you're not willing to risk, you can't grow. And if you can't grow, you can't become your best. And if you can't become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? Come on, help me somebody. Come on. Yes, there's joy in being you. Life has no duplicate. This is your only life you got up in here. Live it on your time. Don't do it doing something else that somebody else wanted you to do. Bozo the Clown. Do you know how that came about? The guy who created that character, Bozo the Clown, was in med school. He was a doctor. He was practicing. And he discovered he enjoyed making kids feel good, making kids laugh, making them joyful, rather than sticking them with needles. And then he had to develop the courage to say to his parents, I'm not going to become a doctor anymore. You're not? No. What are you going to do? I'm going to become a clown. I like making kids feel good. I'm not like making them laugh. You're going to do what? I'm going to become a clown. You gonna drop all the money we spent for you to go to med school? You're gonna become a clown? You are a damn clown. Come on, you can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. Hold it. This is true. This is real. This is where Bozo the Clown came from. And he dropped out of med school and became a clown. And then he created a franchise where clowns all over the world went to hospitals and made kids. He franchised it. Make kids laugh and feel good. Oh, behave. Hello. I'm telling you. There's joy in being you. There's joy in jumping out of line. There's joy in having a spirit of optimism and perseverance. There's joy in saying yes to you, yes to your life. There's joy in betting on you. You were created for something. You came here to do something. And now this is a place in life where you have an opportunity to say yes. Yes to your dream. Yes to your unfolding future. Yes to the possibilities that you can have your own business. Yes to a new life for yourself. Yes, I can get somebody in my life that's not toxic, that's not abusive, that's not argumentative, that won't get on my last nerve. Yes. Joy of being you. I got out of that relationship. Why? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. At one time it was. No. Have you ever been in a relationship and when you got out and you saw that person sometime later and you ask yourself, what state of mind was I in? When I went up in there. What in the hell was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. Come on. Oh, behave. Hello. I'm sorry. I'll be good. I'm sorry. I don't take my medication. I'm sorry. But you know what you say. What got into me when I thought that was worthwhile to go up in there? It's called delayed enlightenment. The joy of being you. Jump out of line. Optimism and perseverance. Will it be easy? No, it's okay. If you're doing what's you don't mind persevering. As Augmentino would say, I will persist until I succeed. And saying yes to your dream. Yes, Lord, all things work together for good. For those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. Yes, I'm called. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm telling you. Can you tell I love what I do? I know it. I hear you saying, Yes, Mamie Brown's baby boy. That's why I watch you and tell my friends to watch you because you crazy. With a K. The joy of being you. You're wonderfully made. You're made in the likeness and image of God. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. You deserve a better life. You are here for a purpose. You are here because of God's grace and mercy. Be thankful for everything that's going on right now. And now rethink your life and position yourself to relaunch. Prepare yourself for the best yet to come, for the next greatest version, for the next chapter in your life, the joy of being you. I'm going to go back online for my Clubhouse friends and talk to them. But I got someone I got to talk to, John Wesley. And I just want to say that you deserve the best that life has to offer. If there's anything that we learn from this coronavirus, life is very fragile. Live your life now.